Hi, welcome to Magic and Miracles. I'm so happy that you could join me today, and I'm really excited to share with you this practice that I've been using for the past couple of weeks. It's been really helping me to get out of negative mindsets or negative thinking or complaining or just kind of seeing something in a way that is not doing me any good, either in the present or in the long term, right? Because we know that how we're seeing things in the present, we gain momentum in that. And then we begin to see those things like that the next time they pop up, and the next time, and the next time, until it sort of becomes our experience. And what I've been using is a simple mantra. And this mantra is, I am greater than the experience that I think I'm having. So I'll just be doing something and maybe getting frustrated or seeing it in a negative way, or maybe not feeling so energetic or motivated and just kind of having a general poor outlook. And when I become aware of that, I'll just remind myself that I'm greater than this, that what I'm seeing is just a construct of my ego that is being shaped by the egos around me and what's going on in the world, and that it's really not my truth. And it's not what I want to subscribe to, because what I subscribe to sets my experiences. So it's been a very, very simple practice of I'm greater than the experience that I think I'm having. And there's a lesson in A Course in Miracles that has inspired this for me, and it's lesson 49. I'm trying to do the lessons this year kind of as they coincide with the day, and today would be lesson 49. It's February 18th, and I'm just going to read a little bit of this lesson to you. And the lesson is called God's Voice Speaks to Me All Through the Day. It is quite possible to listen to God's voice all through the day without interrupting your regular activities in any way. The part of your mind in which truth abides is in consistent communication with God, whether you are aware of it or not. It is the other part of your mind that functions in the world and obeys the world's laws. It is this part that is constantly distracted, disorganized, and highly uncertain. So what it's speaking to is identifying with thoughts that come from the ego, or this practice, right, that I am a being beyond this experience. And I'll just go on with the lesson. So the part that is listening to the voice for God is calm, always at rest and wholly certain. It is really the only part there is. The other part is a wild illusion, frantic and distraught, but without reality of any kind. Try not to listen to it today. Try to identify with the part of your mind where stillness and peace reign forever. Try to hear God's voice call to you lovingly, reminding you that your Creator has not forgotten His Son. So the practice for today is that you will try to actually hear God's voice reminding you of Him and of yourself. Bring me back to my mantra, I am greater than the experience that I think I am. And the lesson speaks to us to approach this happiest and holiest of thoughts, right? So throughout the day, the practice is when you become aware that you're hearing the voice of ego, right? That you will try to become aware, or you will try to hear God's voice reminding you of Him and of yourself. And you can use my mantra if you want. I am greater than the experience I think I'm having. Or another one I love, I am a child of God and God is my source, the source of my thoughts, the source of my abundance. And when we choose God as our source, we get God to show up for us in our experiences because He is the source of our experiences. And this lesson says that we should approach this happiest and holiest of thoughts with confidence, knowing that in doing so, we are joining our will with the will of God. He wants you to hear His voice. He gave it to you to be heard. And the practice with lesson 49 is to listen in deep silence. Be very still and open your mind. Go past all the raucous shrieks and sick imagings that cover up your real thoughts and obscure your eternal link with God. Sink deep into that peace that waits you beyond the frantic, riotous thoughts and sights and sounds of the insane world. You do not live here. We are trying to reach your real home. We are trying to reach the place where you are truly welcome. We are trying to reach God. So I love this lesson, and it's been really helpful in getting me to remember that I have a choice. I can choose what I'm experiencing or how I'm experiencing what might be present for me based on my alignment. I can align with source, or I can align with ego and delusion. So I want to share a meditation with you today that goes along with this practice, but I want to explain it a little bit first. I do a couple of weekly meditation groups in my practice with my clients and people from the community. And through the seasons, we will follow different lessons, right? And through the winter, we're following ask, receive, believe, receive. And we've been working on manifestation and how to really get in contact with source to manifest to our highest experience, right? Our greatest joy, our healthiest self, not just to manifest material things to make us happy, but to get into that connection that fills us and supports us so that our external world becomes a reflection of that experience. So I want to offer up some insight as to why meditation is such a powerful and important tool in manifesting and creating a greater experience. So in meditation, we come to a place where there's a lot of talk about it now with Joe Dispenza's work called the quantum field. And very, very simplified, I'm going to give you a super simplified version of this. It is the place where all possibilities exist. So it's the source of everything that has come into physical reality. And this material level, or this material reality, everything that shows up for you or everything that is surrounding you, everything you know to be true, begins at the level of pure consciousness or pure awareness. This is the quantum field. And it's basically, before anything can become a thing, it must be a thought. This is the beginning of everything. And in meditation, we get into contact with that quantum field, with our divine, creative, psychic space. And just bringing in a little bit of work from Joe Dispenza, because he does such a great job at really thoroughly explaining this. So if you're really interested in this, he does a great way of digesting all this information for you. He has a couple of books out there. You can check his website. He has great meditations. And he says that when we get into this quantum space, when we're in meditation, and we're going to enter into this space of pure potentiality, as Deepak says, we enter as nobody. And this means that you leave all of your stories behind. Everything that you think you are or aren't, everything you think you perceive as happening, has happened, or will happen, you enter as nobody. You leave all of those stories behind. And in doing so, you become pure consciousness. Remember, you are a physical manifestation, so you too have come from pure consciousness, meaning you are pure consciousness. You are this creative source, and we can connect back to it. Deepak calls this the space of infinite possibility and pure potentiality. So how do you know when you're there, when you are connected to source, when you're connected to pure consciousness, when you're in this space where you can now begin to create, right? You can put your order in. You will know you're there because you will feel it. For me, and I've heard others explain it the same way, there's a sense of peace or a general sense of well-being. So you might be present of your body, right? You might be present with the stories that are up for you. But when you're in this space, you're holding it from a very different awareness. You're not experiencing it in the same way. So your awareness is just different and it's more peaceful. And this consciousness is known in mindfulness as pure love, pure potentiality, divine wisdom, but it's all rooted in love. It's the energy of love. So love is the creative energy or the creative force behind everything that has come into existence. And for the purpose of this podcast and what we are talking about today, we're going to stick with that. I know that there's questions out there, well, there's these horrible things that happen in the world and they don't come from love. That's sort of another pondering that maybe we can take up in a different podcast sometime. Maybe we'll have a guest on about that, I'm thinking. But for this practice, right, to help us to get to a better experience, we're just going to stick with connecting with love and manifesting from that space. So the easiest way to do this, the easiest way to get into the quantum field is to get into the experience of love. And true love, right? So true love is seeing things from the perspective of your higher self. It's like that namaste. Like, I look beyond all the flaws I think I see, and I honor you for who you truly are. And at the same time, I know that I come from the same source that you do, and that we're pure light. The light in me honors the light in you, right? That's namaste. So we make the effort and the choice to see beyond our expectations, to see beyond our judgments. And this brings us into a very pure state, and we can connect with divine love in this way. And in that space of divine love, that's psychic space. That is where we can increase our intuition, our clairvoyance, right? That is where we can manifest. And there's many ways to get there. We can have a gratitude list. I get there very, very easily and quickly by nature, just appreciating nature and receiving, right? Nature is pretty pure in its form. I also get there by just sitting with my daughter, sitting with her and holding space for her experience, or just appreciating my husband's devotion to his family. So there's lots of ways that we can get into this space of divine love, right? Meditation offers us sort of a sacred space to do this. It helps us to get into connection with that quantum field, the connection beyond the body to all that there is, pure potentiality, to divine creativity. So I'm going to take you today through a meditation that can help you to do this. And this is part of the practice. So the first part of the practice is remembering that you are greater than the experience that you think you're having. That you are divine love, you are divine wisdom, you are pure consciousness, and that God's voice is available to you when we make that choice, speaks to you. And remember that God is love, right? God is the universal representation for this consciousness, for this energy of love. And when we choose it and allow for us to hear it, allow for yourself to hear it and bring it into your experience, bring it into your insight, bring it into your concept of what you're experiencing, it can begin to shift how you're experiencing what is up for you. So in my meditation today, because I practice all of this stuff before I give it out into the world, I connected with the Ascended Master Jesus, right? Who also is the master behind A Course in Miracles, right? These are his teachings. And he really brought forth through me this lesson of love, that if you really want to create something that's good, that is safe, that's going to bring you protection and abundance and passion and purpose and creativity, right? We really want our manifestations to be grounded and rooted in those things, because that's going to give us our highest, happiest, most joyful, healthiest experience in life. That we really need to connect to this energy of love. And Jesus was the teacher of love, right? So I'm so grateful that we made that connection today, and he's offering us this teaching. So I hope that this meditation helps you to get into that place, that space of love, that space of peace, and helps you to start to manifest, or even think about manifesting from a place of love, right? We start with the insight that, what am I manifesting from? Which energy am I connected to when I'm putting these thoughts out into my energy field and it's speaking to the universe? Because that's what's going to bring us back. And remember, you can always call on Jesus as your teacher. I surrender my heart, my mind, my words, my thoughts, my actions, my perceptions, to be guided by the teacher of love today. So let's come into our meditation, into our practice that's going to help to ground the intention, to know that we are greater than the experiences we might be having. So just come into a seated position, lying down, whatever's comfortable for you. Just open some space between your shoulder blades, between your chin and your diaphragm, your belly and your pubic bone. Just open yourself up. This is a demonstration of your willingness to be present and receive. And give your mind a focus just coming to your breath for a moment, using your breath to get you present. And this will start to bring you into your true presence, right? Your divine self. Just watching the breath come in and going out. Breathing in through the nose, following the breath down through the diaphragm, the belly, filling your hips, pushing out through your tailbone, and feeling yourself just fully receive life through breath. And the exhalation, just releasing any tension or stress. With each in-breath, awakening more deeply the divine consciousness within you. Bringing divine consciousness to your conscious awareness. Breathing out, just releasing resistance to knowing your truth. Allowing for divine consciousness, the light that you are, to shine forth from within every cell in your body. You're just awakening the divine consciousness that is already in you, that you are already a part of. Breathing in and out. Awakening the love and the peace from within, starting in every cell. And as the light expands, begin to feel a greater sense of well-being and peace. And this light, a beautiful golden white light, is shining, emanating from within every cell, permeating the physical body, expanding beyond the physical body. And from connection with divine consciousness, just come into appreciation of your current experience, whatever might be up for you. Observe and experience the opportunities that are present for you now. All that offers you an opportunity to go beyond what you think you see. Holding gratitude, maybe even for the difficult things, being willing to find the gratitude. And broadening your awareness of gratitude. What in your life now is working perfectly? What in your life today holds joy for you? Shift your awareness to all the ways you feel and experience love today. And notice how that feels. And this feeling is the grace of pure divine consciousness. Bring our awareness now to this feeling, this experience of pure divine consciousness. And think about how you would love to be. What would increase the love that you feel in your life? What would bring you joy and happiness and peace? How would you be? And take this time in connection with divine love, the space of pure potentiality and creativity, to see yourself living in love. What would you look like? What would you be doing? What would you be experiencing? And offering your intention over to divine consciousness to support and guide and create into experience. Offer up blessings to divine love. And we ground in our intention that I am greater than the experience I think I am having. I invite God's voice to speak to me today. And I affirm that God's voice speaks to me all throughout the day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that this practice is of service to you. Have a great day.